This is Demetrius. He fell in love with Jade, a furry. But Demetrius wasn't too fond on being with a furry.
I know that the furry fandom is something new to him.
It's kind of like looking at a dog.
And we're judged online because we make adult content with fursuits. He's a dog. He's attracted to animals.
Furries are known weirdos, so please don't play this game with us. Yeah, people are gonna think that if you're banging your girlfriend and she's dressed up in a fox costume. Does that mean what I think?
I want out of this world.
Yeah.
I want out. Bring me the sweet relief of death.
They use litter boxes, bark, eat out of a dog bowl.
And since Jade introduced him to the furry world, he has dealt with some consequences.
Friends, I don't really have any left from them finding out.
Today, they're breaking some news to his last friend.
Furry is paying our bills because we're doing OnlyFans.
This is our room. I call it the dungeon. It's where we film all of our adult content in here.
It's blurred in the corner. Did you see what was blurred in the corner there?
Red, I don't know what I did to piss you off, but why are you showing me this? This is a war crime. This is inhumane to make a man endure this shit. There's not enough alcohol that I can consume to make me unsee this.
I mean, they basically just admitted they're doing this stuff for the money. Like, we know why people are engaging in this behavior, and that's why most people who appear on Love Don't Judge are on Love Don't Judge, is because they're plugging some sort of fetish content. But this is especially shameful and degrading.
You know, in all seriousness, though, how disappointed do you have to be as a parent to see that your child has made this? What went wrong in the rearing of them?
So many millions of things. Every single day was just one long fall down a long flight of stairs.
We call the kennel.
No. And usually I let my subscribers pick what kind of content we do for the week. I'm Jade, and this is my partner Demetrius, and we're judged online because we make adult content with fursuits. I was in high school and I used to draw a bunch of like characters with hair and like human characteristics. So I got my first fursuit, I think it was 2020 when I graduated. Furries are just cosplayers. This is Velvet, she's a wolf dog. I was really shy in high school growing up and...
A wolf dog? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, wolf dog.
Just out of high school, too.
It's always these art kids who end up getting like this. You have to be an art kid first, and then you become a furry.
You know, Red, I don't know what you and I are doing working regular 9-to-5 jobs. We could be doing this. We'd probably be earning a lot more.
I would hope you have the decency not to, Alex.
These characters give me a different personality and it makes me put myself out there more. I see myself as a extension when I have my fursuit on. I'm about to tell my boyfriend I'm a furry, so we're gonna see his reaction.
A fursuit? What the hell's a fursuit?
Furries?
Yeah. And you're just now telling me.
Yeah, I thought you wouldn't care.
I had lived with a furry, so Destiny is kind of how we met. My roommate, I was having a furry party at my first apartment about a year ago.
Yeah.
Red and Mrs. Red Channels, do either of you know what a yiff party is?
No.
Consider yourself blessed. Somebody has to be the bearer of bad news, but it's basically when a bunch of furries come together and
They yiff.
they cuddle together.
They cuddle.
Aggressively.
Oh god.
In their fursuits.
That's really cringe.
And I'm not very keen on the whole furry fandom thing, at least I wasn't. I didn't want to go out. I was stuck in my room, there was a bunch of furries in my apartment, people that are just odd that I didn't want to hang out with very much, and she kind of forced her way into my room, but in a nice way. Like, you know, she didn't take no for an answer, in the best way possible. Had a couple drinks.
Yeah, you'd need drinks to live with a furry.
Talked for a few hours, and then I think it was the next week we went on our first date.
Demetrius is very patient with me. I know that the furry fandom is something new to him.
I mean, it's kind of like looking at a dog, but getting used to awkward moments for sure. But
You're getting used to fucking a dog?
This is deeply perturbing. I don't even know what to say.
You know, thanks, Red. Thanks for the nightmares I'm going to have tonight.
You're welcome. I'm a nightmare purveyor. This is The normalization of bestiality in real time through degenerate art school kids.
But it's like a version of her, but it's still Jade. She's in there.
When we moved into our first apartment, we realized how expensive rent was and how expensive just living in general was.
You want the nice things in life. You want to be able to be unemployed, have nice clothes, have your rent paid for. Come here, come here.
So I told him about how there is a couple other furry creators that do adult content, and I was like, because I've already spent so much money on it, I would say think over, what do you think?
Over $25,000.
$25,000. And I was like, why not make money off of the items that I own now? And we kind of slowly got into it, and it took him a while to like really understand what it was and accept that we would be doing adult content online.
25K.
25K, you heard that right, folks. That's 2 years of rent for me.
On just furry stuff.
On fursuits.
Wow. And this man got into this relationship and is now basically dragged into being an adult performer. That's really sick, isn't it?
If I had that kind of money laying around, there's a lot more productive things you could do than making degenerate content like this.
I also can't believe that this is presented as some sort of solution to, oh man, gotta make a little extra money, better just sell my body online as a furry. You know, this is crazy. This is really, really crazy.
I think the real loss is selling your body as a furry. I mean, selling your body already online is already humiliating in a sense. Why does one seek to add to the humiliation even more?
By wearing a fursuit. Just imagine the smell. Imagine the smell from those costumes that are like 1,000 degrees.
I'd say it doesn't really change our intimate life that much. I mean, of course, during content, she might be wearing a fursuit.
I don't know how you could go back to tapping that after filming.
Yeah, I don't know how this changes our sex life when your girlfriend is wearing a wolf mask and paws, and you know you're doing this for money. I think that would change a lot of things.
I know when I said this a couple videos ago. Again, the guy is not bad looking. I feel like he could pull a baddie without even putting in that much effort to change himself on this part. Why settle for such cringe?
Western men have no spine. Western men are mentally shattered. Western men are broken. And right now we are witnessing the consequences. If you want a baddie, as you said, you're going to have to suit up. Or accept that she's in a suit.
That's not worth it to me.
Always wearing one, yeah.
I just gotta remember it's her behind it and not the mascot.
And that doesn't mean I act like a dog, alright? Pretty normal, it's not weird, guys. It's really not weird. Sometimes when we're not filming, it still is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we like to play around with it.
I'd say what I was most unsure about at first was just response. How people would react, family, friends, work. Because, things get around nowadays. Everyone talks about everything online. You're posing? Everything that social media paints them to be, a lot of it's not true. Weird, they use litter boxes, they bark, they eat out of a dog bowl. The majority, or at least Jade, the people I've introduced or been introduced to, have been pretty good.
Okay, that's a bold-faced lie. Every person I have ever known who's been into this subculture has been a weirdo, and I have heard plenty of stories of people like this either wanting to use litter boxes or using litter boxes or other crazy things like that. So this guy is gaslighting us. He's trying to downplay how odd and strange and degenerate this subculture really is.
I think it's harmless. I have fun with it. I like making sure she's got content for her social media platforms and taking pictures. I'll even throw the fursuit on for a couple videos just because, people liked it. It gets views.
Remember your comment earlier about the smell? Again, I must ask the question. This kind of thing to subject yourself to, this is masochism in its most pure and degenerate form.
I'm absolutely still attracted to Jade when she's in the fursuit, but I'm not attracted to the mask she's wearing. I'm attracted to the woman inside of the mask because that's who I fell in love with. But it kind of adds like a interesting second persona How we deal with the judgment from our dynamic is we capitalize from it.
It's just boosting it more for us, and it benefits us greatly. So I'm like, keep going, keep commenting. I love it.
This is literally paying our rent. All furries should be burned at the stake.
Alex, was that you? You need to not comment, because apparently your comments are boosting them in whatever algorithms they're using. We can't have these people getting any more attention.
I have not commented that. However, though,
I'd be mad too if my girlfriend was only worth $6 a month. Well, actually, it's 12.
wow, $12, not $6. What an upgrade. Also, feminists, I know you don't like us, but is this not what you guys fight against? Here we have a straight white man putting a value on a woman that's $12 a month. Where are the feminists fighting against this content?
So
We get comments like, he's a dog, I'm attracted to animals, I am not. Or he's attracted to animals because I wear my fursuit and obviously we do adult content in it. Not true.
dating a furry who's an OnlyFans girl has to be a fate worse than death.
Gotta agree with that. This is beyond humiliating.
The only thing worse than dating an OnlyFans girl is to be the parent of an OnlyFans girl.
Who's a furry?
So at first when I started posting on social media, I had a few breakdowns from the comments, people calling me names, people body shaming me. But what really matters is when
On top of all of this, they've got one of those weird hairless ball sack cats. One of those Egyptian cats, I think they're called. And they just have that crawling around behind them. Like, of course, two people like this would have a cat that looks like that.
That cat is probably traumatized.
support comes in from him and he helps me, he's there for me, you support me through everything.
I'd say if anybody that judges our relationship, look at yourself first. Because you see two people that are happy.
People react to me in a very negative way in public. When teenagers come up to me, they'll be barking at me from across the street or yelling something very negative across the street. But when you see like a little kid with their parents, usually the parents will smile at me and the kid will want a picture. So it can go either or sometimes.
Isn't it so messed up that she's taking pictures with children who don't understand that this is a fetish costume? Like, that should be a crime.
Girl, quit the cap. No sane parent is letting you near their child for a picture.
Yeah.
You made the kid what?
Cry. He's crying.
What'd you do? Friends, I don't really have any left from them finding out.
Oh, I wouldn't want to be your friend either.
No wonder they left.
The concern that they had it mostly was just immaturity, not wanting to do their own research, just listening to what they've been brainwashed into believing is true.
What research could you do as a person to convince you that this isn't weird?
Please, in the comments, if anybody's able to, enlighten the Red Channels community and how one can perform fair academic research on furries without being disgusted.
You can see how liberalism is just this, like, perversion. You have these different perversities, and then now one of them is more mainstream than the others, and it's this sort of getting progressively niche, progressively odd. And instead of just judging these things as the deviant behaviors that they are, you have to do research, quote unquote, to understand them.
But I realized is that the people that are no longer in my life because of our life, I don't want in my life anyways. My friend Cade's coming over, and we're gonna talk to him about our relationship, see how he feels. He actually stuck around through everything after a lot of other people didn't.
He's sporting that drug rug, so he looks like a stoner. Of course he doesn't care.
You know, and he's even thinking, oh boy, I'm gonna need that beer to get to sit through with this.
I had some questions, I mean, obviously, because I don't know why. I'm just like I'm on the outside of this. But,
Yeah.
Just stuff like, what is it like? What is it, do you think it might be different than being in a regular relationship?
Yeah, I mean, it is different because, you know, he obviously wasn't a furry before. He still isn't, but I include him in a lot of my content, obviously. You enjoy it, right?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean,
Yeah.
at first I was like,
Yeah.
but it's just day to day now. It's made it work.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So how long do you plan on like being a furry, or not really just being a furry, but actually actively dressing?
I want to save and invest and hopefully quit in 10, 20 years maybe. You know, I never know.
Furry is paying our bills and then some because we're doing OnlyFans.
Look at that guy's face. I mean, they literally just came out and said, being a furry is paying our bills. Isn't that so sad that they have to stoop to this to get by in this economy? And Love Don't Judge is trying to present this as some sort of normal story or behavior that people engage in.
I just have to ask the question, what skills did they pick up in their time of education? Because if this is the only skill you can bring to a society, I would be inclined to say that you are a failure within the society.
With it.
Yeah.
Together.
And it makes good money?
It does really good,
Yeah.
surprisingly. So we turned it into at least my full-time job.
I honestly think it would be like dumb of us to not do the OnlyFans for, you know, at least another year or two, because like what it's making just in the first few months is absurd.
Yeah.
It's like more than most people make in a year.
At this point, you're convincing me.
Yeah.
You know, if it's making money, you got to do it sometimes.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do. You're just moving up, and all you're doing is going up. You guys are working together. You guys are growing together. It's an amazing thing to see. It's really cool. She's always supporting you, and I like that.
It's sad that we have a culture and a society that are just so driven by material gain. That was as long as you're growing together, it's fine. As long as you're making money, whatever.
This is what happens when you discard religion. Religion provides a top and a bottom for morality. In our atheistic world, there is neither, and we end up with degenerate depravity. You end up in a fursuit on OnlyFans with your girlfriend.
What the future holds for us too is hopefully just more success. Honestly, it's just helping us grow together. We work together, we learn together, we create together. It's great.
We're both very patient with each other and very accepting no matter what. And I do eventually want to buy you a fursuit.
Yes.
I'm like excited. I'm gonna make him dress up with me.
Alright, now that's enough of that. Anyways, this has been Red Channels. Please subscribe and share this video if you liked it, and we will catch you in the next one.